Hey, it's Chris. Welcome to Square One Module 5. In this module, we're going to talk all about how to detoxify your body. By now, I'm sure you've heard a lot of talk about detoxification, but what I've found is that detoxification is largely misunderstood. One of the main goals of Square One is to help you reduce your toxic load. You've heard me say that in other modules, and we're going to talk about it a lot more in this one. You want to reduce your toxic load as much as possible. The first thing you need to understand is that detoxification is always happening in your body. Your body is always detoxifying. If it wasn't, you would die very quickly. Your liver is the main detoxification engine in your body. Your liver and your kidneys both detoxify your blood and excrete those toxins in your pee and your poop. Your lungs remove toxins from your body when you exhale, and your skin excretes toxins from your body when you sweat. So let's talk a bit more about each one. Your liver processes all of the metabolic waste and toxins that come into your body. Whether it's something you ate or inhaled, or it's the metabolic waste produced by healthy cells or dead cells, your body has to get rid of all that stuff because it's toxic to you. Your body has to break down metabolic waste, that happens in your liver, and then excrete it. Your liver and your kidneys both work together to keep your blood clean. Think about them like the oil filter in your car. You have to change your oil filter periodically. If you don't, that filter will get so clogged up with gunk that it will stop filtering the oil in your car. And that dirty oil will continue to circulate and cause premature damage and shorten the life of your engine. Your liver and kidneys are just like that. They're constantly filtering and cleaning your blood and your lymphatic fluid. And if your body is constantly polluted with unnecessary toxins, then your liver and kidneys can get overloaded. They just get so gunked up and damaged that their ability to work properly diminishes over time. Your lymphatic system is the detoxification superhighway in your body. Your cells dump metabolic waste into your lymph system, and your lymph system carries that waste away to your liver and your kidneys to eliminate it. It also eliminates toxins through your skin and your sweat. Your skin is your largest organ, and it's a detoxifying organ. When you sweat, you're sweating out toxins, and certain toxins are eliminated more through sweat than any other way. So sweating is very important to maintaining health. Antiperspirants are terrible. Anything that prevents you from sweating is trapping toxins in your body. So you want to sweat in your armpits. Don't stop that process. Your body needs to get that stuff out. You don't want to trap toxins in and around your armpits and breast tissue. Your lungs excrete toxins 24 hours a day. Your body neutralizes some toxins by converting them to carbon dioxide in your blood and then returns them to your lungs, and when you exhale, out they go. So every time you exhale, you're detoxifying. When you sweat, you're detoxifying. And of course, when you pee and poop, you're detoxifying. Your liver has two phases. Phase 1 is the garbage collector, and phase 2 is the eliminator. So phase 1 is like collection and processing, and phase 2 involves a little more processing and excretion. Your liver dumps bile, which is toxic metabolic waste, into your large intestine to be carried out the back door when you poop. So being regular is very important. The more you poop, the better you detoxify. So generally speaking, you should be pooping like 2 to 3 times a day. Like I talked about in Module 2, food needs to move through your body quickly. The most important principle in detoxification is to stop toxifying. Stop putting stuff in your body that is hurting you. Stop poisoning and polluting your body. Cigarettes are the leading cause of cancer. If you smoke, stop smoking. If you're eating a processed food diet, the Western standard American diet, whatever you want to call it, you're eating a lot of toxic stuff. Artificial additives, preservatives, flavors, colors, sweeteners, trans fats. These are all man-made chemicals that you were never meant to ingest. Your body doesn't know what to do with them, and they have to be detoxified because they're not nutrients. They're not nutritious. When they come in, your body's like, what is all this stuff? Like, we got to get this stuff out of here. Because if that toxic stuff built up in your body, you would become very sick and die. So, eliminating the processed food diet and switching to a whole foods diet, like I talked about in modules 3 and 4, is a huge step. There was a recent study where they took a group of people and took them off a standard Western diet and put them on an all-organic diet. And just within a few weeks, the amount of pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides and other toxic chemicals in their urine went way down just by converting to an organic diet. Even if you're not eating processed food and junk food, if you're eating conventionally grown produce, then you are ingesting pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides, and all the other toxic stuff that they spray on crops. That's why switching to an organic diet is best. Now, if you can't get organic produce, that's okay. Just eat tons of fruits and vegetables anyway. The benefits still outweigh the risk. That's still better than eating a processed food diet, but the absolute best protocol is eating organic because we're trying to reduce your body's toxic load as much as possible. The less work your liver has to do to detoxify avoidable toxins, the more it can detoxify what's already in there that needs to get out. So eliminating processed food and switching to organic is important. Like I've said in other modules, animal products carry a lot of toxins and create more work for your immune system. Meat and dairy not only harbor viruses, bacteria, and parasites, but also factory farmed animals are injected with antibiotics and hormones, and they eat unnatural GMO feed to fatten them up, and they could be drinking polluted water. If your immune system is overloaded by all the toxic junk that keeps coming in through your mouth, then it has less resources available to heal cancer and other chronic diseases that may be caused by those toxins. So eliminate processed food. Reduce or eliminate meat and dairy. Eat organic. Very simple. Now let's talk about water. If you're drinking tap water, then you are more than likely drinking bleach and fluorosilicic acid. They put sodium hypochlorite, that's chlorine, in our drinking water to kill harmful bacteria that can breed in municipal drinking water. But then the problem is, you drink it. You're drinking chlorine bleach. So removing chlorine from your drinking water is a good thing. They put fluoride in our drinking water because in the 1950s, the aluminum industry convinced the government that fluoride, which was a toxic waste byproduct from aluminum manufacturing and from the phosphate fertilizer industry today, would be helpful to add to our drinking water because fluoride is a component of teeth. And they pulled off perhaps the most sophisticated con of all time and convinced the government to buy their toxic waste that was illegal to dump in rivers and put it in our drinking water. The truth is, you don't need fluoride in your drinking water to have healthy teeth. My family has consumed fluoride-free water and used fluoride-free toothpaste for over 12 years, and we've never had any cavities. Our teeth are perfect. I went to the dentist in November 2016 for the first time in 5.5 years, and he raved about how good my teeth look. Chlorine and fluoride are toxic, and they can cause cancer. Get them out of your water. Besides those two, your drinking water could also be contaminated with other cancer causers like arsenic, lead, cadmium, or hexavalent chromium, depending on where you live. So you really need to purify your drinking water, even if you have well water. Now, there are 3 ways you can do it. You can get a countertop distiller, which I used for a number of years. You could get a reverse osmosis system, which mounts under your sink, but they're really pricey and the filters have to be changed a lot. Or you could use a Berkey water filter, which is my personal favorite because it's portable, it requires no power or water pressure, and it's super economical. The Berkey removes hundreds of contaminants, including chlorine and fluoride, arsenic, pharmaceuticals, heavy metals, chromium-6. It's a very long list. And you can learn more about it at chrisbeatcancer.com/Berkey. Now let's talk about a few more toxic cancer-causing heavy metals. Number 1 is mercury. Mercury causes cancer, and some vaccines still contain mercury as thimerosal, like the flu shot or any vaccine that's rushed to market. That's one of the reasons we don't get flu shots. Haven't had one in over 12 years. But vaccines aren't even our biggest source of mercury exposure. Eating 1 serving of tuna gives you 6 times more mercury than a flu shot. But it's not just tuna. Many fish are polluted with mercury, especially the fish at the top of the food chain, like tilefish, swordfish, shark, and king mackerel. Farm-raised fish can be just as toxic. Farm-raised salmon has really high levels of PCBs, which is a toxic byproduct of manufacturing. Another toxic heavy metal is aluminum. The highest source of dietary aluminum is not from aluminum cans, it's from cheese. How in the world does aluminum end up in cheese? Because many cheese manufacturers use an additive called sodium aluminum phosphate. This is a form of salt that enhances the flavor and texture. It makes cheese smooth. If you flip over a package of cheese and look at the ingredients, it will just say salt. There are many reasons to eliminate meat and dairy. Not only do they support cancer by raising IGF-1 and methionine, but they're also loaded with contaminants. So take the animal products off the table. There's too much baggage that comes with them because of environmental pollution. By the way, other forms of aluminum like aluminum sulfate are often used in baking powders, pickles, relishes, flour, and canned meat. Now let's talk about body care products. Your skin absorbs what you put on it. Chemicals from lotions and potions, oils and makeup are all absorbed into your skin and into your bloodstream, and they circulate throughout your entire body. And the skincare industry has very loose regulations on what they're allowed to put in their products. Mascara has mercury in it. Lipstick has lead in it. There's a long list of potentially toxic ingredients used in skincare, and they don't even have to disclose them all on the label. To be on the safe side, switch to organic, all-natural body care products. Get away from the major brands because many of them are not using safe, non-toxic materials. The Environmental Working Group has a large database on their website of body care products, and you can type in virtually any product on earth and it will show you what's in it and give it a clean or toxic rating. So that's a great way to find out if the brands you're using are potentially toxic, and a great way to find top-rated clean brands. Also, stop using talcum powder, which has been linked to ovarian cancer. Stop using store-bought douche and switch to organic tampons or pads or a Diva cup. A recent study found that 85% of tampons tested found traces of the toxic herbicide glyphosate in Roundup. If you don't know what a Diva cup is, just Google it. Next, your mouth can be a significant source of toxins. And this time, I don't mean what you're eating. I'm talking about what's in your mouth. If you have silver fillings in your mouth, they're 50% mercury. Mercury is a cancer causer. It's the most toxic non-radioactive metal on Earth. It's extremely bad for your brain and your liver and pretty much your whole body. And if you have silver fillings in your mouth, they're releasing mercury vapor into your body all day. The other thing in your mouth that may be causing problems in your body is a root canal. You're leaving a dead tooth in your mouth when you do a root canal, and dead teeth need to come out so your body can fully heal. Root canals can allow anaerobic bacteria to colonize in the space where there's no blood flow. You could have a non-healing site under the root canal, down in the cavitation, and it could be causing problems in your body. I've talked to many cancer patients who develop cancer within a few years of getting a root canal. If you're still trying to figure out the causes of your cancer, it may be right there under your nose, literally in your mouth. Root canals and mercury fillings are two things you need to consider getting removed or replaced. If you have either, I want to encourage you to find a holistic dentist and get them safely removed. You can find a holistic dentist at iaomt.org. All right, so now let's talk about some methods for reducing your toxic load. There are some simple things you can do. Number one, switching to an organic plant-based diet. Like I said earlier, your body is always detoxifying. The half-life of mercury in the body is estimated to be around 2 months. So that means in around 4 months, your body should have detoxified most of the mercury from the tuna you ate last night. Same with aluminum. Your body can remove these heavy metals, but you have to stop putting them in. And another important aspect of detoxification is your home and your work environment. Specifically, removing all of the potential toxins from the two places where you spend the most of your time. 14% of lung cancer is caused by radon gas. Get a radon gas test kit. They're a few dollars, and check your home for radon gas. Toxic mold could be making you sick and leading to chronic infection and suppressed immunity, which can lead to cancer. So you want to check your house for toxic mold as well. The next step is to stop using the harsh household cleaners. the chemical cleaners, dish soap, dish detergent, laundry soap, laundry detergent, bathroom cleaner. Get that stuff out of your house and switch to natural, non-toxic, biodegradable, organic cleaning products. You can find them on ewg.org. Dr. Bronner's liquid soap is one of my personal favorites. You can use it in the shower, you can brush your teeth with it, you can do your dishes with it, you can clean your house with it. It's amazing stuff. There are a ton of clean, natural, non-toxic household cleaning products available, way more than there were in 2004. And by the way, if you've got a garage full of chemicals, clean it out. If anyone in your house is sleeping over the garage, you definitely need to clean it out or consider not sleeping over the garage. I slept over a garage when I was in college, and that might have been one reason I got cancer. Also, stop burning candles and incense in your house. Most of them produce toxic chemical vapors and smoke. Diffusing essential oils is a much safer option. Next, let's talk about electropollution. If you're living right next to giant power lines, that could be a problem because the low-level electromagnetic fields coming from those power lines could be making you sick. There were even studies done in the 80s that linked them to childhood leukemia. If you live in an apartment building, you could be surrounded by dirty electricity. You have electrical wires running through every wall in your home, and they're all radiating low levels of electromagnetic frequency. This is where the precautionary principle comes into play. Better safe than sorry. So a few things you can do is put your Wi-Fi on a timer so it turns off at night, or switch from Wi-Fi back to wired in your house. Don't sleep with electronics near your head, especially your cell phone. Ionizing radiation from your cell phone penetrates your skull. So use speakerphone or earbuds and keep it away from your body as much as possible. Ladies, don't store it in your bra. Put it on the desk, put it on the table, turn it off, put it on the car seat next to you, put it on airplane mode if you have to keep it in your pocket for a long period of time. I'm not trying to make you totally freaked out and paranoid like you need to wear a tinfoil hat or something, but the truth is you really need to assume that anything around you could be contributing to your disease. And with cancer, we know it's a convergence of many health-destroying factors. It's like the expression, death of 1,000 cuts. It may not be one major pollutant, it may be a bunch of tiny toxins all poisoning you together. So again, we want to reduce our toxic load, eliminate as many of these things as possible. Make sure you're not living on a former toxic waste dump or near one. If you're living in an industrial area, there could be air pollution and water pollution. If you Google cancer clusters, you'll find a map of known areas with high rates of cancer. You can also Google EPA Superfund sites. These are sites that are known to be EPA toxic waste hazard sites around the US. If you live near a cancer cluster or an EPA Superfund site, you may need to move, especially if multiple neighbors are getting cancer. If more than one person in your house is diagnosed with cancer, that's a major red flag and you should get the heck out of there. Your workplace is the same story. Especially if you're working around chemicals or working in the manufacturing industry, you're breathing in all kinds of toxins, dust, smoke, fumes, plastic, paints, solvents, dyes. Anything that's producing smoke, soot, dust, or fumes could be poisoning you a little bit every day. It's not easy to change jobs, I know that, but no job is worth dying over. You may need to get a new job or move to a new department, new location. There's a lot to think about. I'm not trying to overload you, but cancer does require a total life change. And in some cases, that could mean a move or a career change, especially if you're living in a high-stress situation or a high-stress work situation that's emotionally toxic. I mean, that just means it's really bad for you. Too much stress is going to break you down and cripple your immune system. I cover this in detail in Module 7. You need to detoxify not just your body, but also your mind and your emotions and get away from toxic people and situations. That's really important. Okay, now that we've covered how to stop the input of toxins, let's talk about how to accelerate detoxification in the body. Water is really important. The solution to pollution is dilution. Water helps flush things out of your body. When you eat lots of raw fruits and vegetables, you're eating a water-rich diet that helps your body flush out toxins. You're also getting a lot of fiber. Remember earlier when I said that your liver dumps toxic waste into your digestive tract, and the food that you eat carries that out. When you eat a plant-based diet that's rich in water, fiber, and starch, you poop regularly, 2 to 3 times per day. The starch and fiber absorb the waste that's dumped by your liver and carries it out quickly. If you eat a diet that's low in fiber, that's all meat and dairy and processed food, that causes constipation. That kind of food moves through your body very slowly, and it putrefies and creates fecal mutagens. And you reabsorb some of those toxins, and you end up in a state of chronic autointoxication. You may be suffering from that right now if you're constipated. Also, many prescription drugs cause constipation, which is another reason to work with your doctor to get off of them. In the anti-cancer diet modules, I mentioned a specific food that's a powerful liver detoxifier. That's broccoli sprouts. All of the cruciferous vegetables are wonderful, but broccoli sprouts have the highest concentration of sulforaphane, more than any other cruciferous vegetable or any other food on earth. It's the most potent liver detoxifying food known, and you can eat up to 4 cups of broccoli sprouts per day. Most grocery stores sell them in the produce department right next to the alfalfa sprouts. You can also buy broccoli seeds in a sprouting jar and sprout your own. So, broccoli sprouts are the cheapest and most powerful liver detoxifying food. Get them in your body every day. Detox method number 1 is an organic plant-based diet. Detox method number 2 is fasting. Now let's talk about different types of fasting. One is the water fast. Water fasting is an incredible therapy. Fasting supercharges your immune system. There's a fascinating study that came out a couple years ago where they found that during a 3-day water fast, old and damaged immune cells die off. Then when you start eating again, your body ramps up production of new immune cells. So fasting basically reboots and recharges your immune system. They even found that when cancer patients water fasted 24 hours before chemotherapy treatment, the treatment worked better because water fasting weakened the cancer cells. Water fasting can be very beneficial, and I want to encourage you to do it. Most people can handle a 3-day water fast without any problems. Disclaimer time: if you have a serious health condition, you should check with your doctor before attempting a fast. Now, your doctor may not know anything about fasting. He may say you can't do it or you shouldn't do it. If that's the case, then you fast at your own risk. For most people, fasting is perfectly safe. I've done it many times and never had a problem. Fasting gives your body a break from digestion, and when you fast, your body switches from normal daily operations to repair and regeneration mode. Remember my factory analogy from the other modules. Your body's constantly processing the foods that you're bringing in and using them to create energy and maintain homeostasis to keep you alive. But when you fast, you stop the conveyor belt, so food stops coming in. Now you've got all these workers that don't have anything to do because there's nothing on the conveyor belt. There's no food to process. So they're like, what do we do now? Well, let's look around and see what needs repair. Let's fix this broken window. Let's clean up this mess over here. Let's tidy up. When you fast, your body switches gears into internal house cleaning mode. You're giving it a break, which allows it to pay attention to things that have been overlooked, and it will break down and recycle the useful parts from old and damaged cells. During a fast, your body will also break down fat for energy. Fat is your body's secondary energy reserve. You have 2 backup energy reserves. You have glycogen, which is stored in your liver and converted to glucose if you need extra energy. Then when that glucose runs out, your body starts burning fat. So it takes about 24 hours to burn through the glucose that's stored in your liver, and then once you burn through that, then your body will start burning through body fat. If you're active the first day of your fast, your body will burn through the glucose faster and switch to fat burning sooner. Now, fat is a place that your body stores toxins. So when you start a fast, whether it's a water fast or a juice fast, as your body starts to break down the toxic fat, you're going to feel bad. You will have detoxification symptoms. They call it the Herxheimer effect or the healing crisis. Some people experience this just from converting from the standard Western diet to a raw food diet or a plant-based diet, and there's a few reasons why. Food addiction and detoxification. We're addicted to a diet that's high in protein, fat, sugar, and salt. And when you remove the animal protein and the high levels of sugar, fat, and salt from your diet, you will experience withdrawal. You will also experience withdrawal from caffeine and other food additives like aspartame if you've been drinking diet sodas or chewing gum all day. The other reason you feel bad when you switch to a hardcore healthy diet is detoxification. So again, when you start burning through body fat, your body starts dumping toxins into your bloodstream and they circulate around and your body has to process them in order to excrete them. And during that process, you're gonna feel lousy. Some typical reactions are low energy, headaches, nausea, aches and pains. You could get diarrhea. You might throw up. If any of those things happen, it's because there's some serious detox going on in your body. Just power through it. Again, under medical supervision if necessary. If you're taking prescription drugs, this could be dangerous, so you need to make sure you're cautious about your approach. You might even run a fever. Your immune system ramps up into high gear when you have a fever. A fever can wipe out a host of viruses, bacteria, and parasites in your body that you didn't even know you had. And stuff is going to come out in a lot of different ways if you're toxic. So this could cause, like I said, aches and pains, headaches, nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, fever, pimples, rashes, any of the above, but hopefully not all of the above. The best case scenario is you just feel lousy, no energy, maybe a bit of a headache for a few days. The worst case could be pretty rough for a few days. But remember, if and when you start feeling bad, just remind yourself, Chris said this would happen. This is normal, I will get better. And when you get over that detoxification hump, usually after a few days, worst case a week, you will feel amazing. And there will be a point in the fast where you feel so good that you may think to yourself that you never need to eat again, which of course is not true. Eventually you will get hungry and that's a good time to eat. Now, how long you should fast is something that you should determine. If you want to just get your feet wet, you can do a 1-day water fast. That's pretty easy, but a 3-day water fast is really the optimal minimal length of time. I know people that have done 40-day water fasts. That's serious. You definitely need professional supervision if you go that long. The longest I've personally fasted on water is 3 days. But I have a very high metabolism. I'm really thin, I don't have any body fat, and I just can't go very long before I start to lose too much muscle. The first time I fasted was in February 2004 as part of my Healing Cancer protocol, and I fasted often during that time and did several extended day juice fasts, drinking only vegetable juices for up to 10 days. The next step down from water fasting is juice fasting. Some people will start with a 3-day water fast and then do a 3, 5, or a 10-day juice fast. And then when they come out of the fast, they'll transition to raw food. Lots of fresh fruit first and incorporate vegetables as well. There's all kinds of information online about different fasting methods, but I'm all about simplicity. I think the optimal starting point for most people is 3 days on water and 5 to 10 days on juice, and then on to raw fruits and vegetables. Doesn't have to be all raw, but mostly raw is great. Now, the more body fat you have, the longer you can fast. All fat really is stored energy in case there's a food shortage, right? That's good. But if you have a lot of extra body fat, it's a burden to your entire body. We know that obesity is the second leading cause of cancer, so you need to get rid of the excess body fat. So a nice benefit of fasting is a quick loss of body fat, and that'll help you get back down to a healthy body weight. If you're not sure what you're supposed to weigh, you can do a Google search for BMI calculator or search in the App Store for your smartphone, and you just type in your height and your weight, and it will tell you if you're underweight, normal, overweight, or obese. That's the best way to find your ideal weight range. Detoxification method number 3 is exercise. Because when you move your body, you're increasing circulation of your blood and your lymphatic fluid, and they both carry toxic waste away from your cells. You have 3 times more lymphatic fluid than blood, but the lymphatic system does not have a pump. It only moves when you move. Muscle contractions Circulate your lymph system. So the more movement you can incorporate into your day, the better. Exercise is so important that I devoted almost an entire module to it. That's module 8. But just to touch on it, movement, sweat, and deep breathing are all detoxification methods that happen when you exercise. When your heart is elevated, you're increasing blood circulation, which is delivering oxygen and carrying away toxins. You're also increasing lymphatic circulation, which is also carrying away toxins. And you're sweating, which is excreting toxins. And you're deep breathing, right? And that's excreting toxins via your lungs. Saunas are good, but sweaty exercise is better. It's a critical part of any detox and healing protocol. Now, having said that, if you're on a water fast, you don't need intense exercise. Staying active is good. Brisk walking, bike riding, bouncing on a rebounder, mini trampoline, those are fine. But I would not recommend doing strenuous exercise like weightlifting because it can distract your body from the repair and regeneration that happens during a fast. The fourth detoxification method is deep breathing. You should do this every day. When you breathe in, oxygen helps clean your blood. And when you exhale, you're excreting toxins that have been converted to carbon dioxide. Deep breathing also moves the lymph system around your chest. Deep breathing is easy. You take a deep breath, fill up your lungs as full as you can, hold it for a few seconds, and then push it out all the way to empty, and repeat that 10 times, like this. There's a powerful breathing technique called the Wim Hof method that you can Google. The gist of it is you take about 40 deep breaths in a row, and on your final breath, you take a huge breath, exhale completely, and hold it for as long as you can. Don't do this standing up because you will get lightheaded and you may fall on your face. Around breath number 20 or 30, your whole body will start to tingle. That's normal. Start with 10 deep breaths and work your way up. You can do this multiple times throughout the day. Deep breathing oxygenates and alkalizes your entire body and promotes detoxification. It's simple, it's powerful, and it's free. Just do it. Detoxification is a natural benefit of a healthy lifestyle, and these are simple principles. Stop toxifying, eat an organic plant-based diet, exercise daily, practice deep breathing, get away from toxic products, and fast occasionally. The fifth detoxification method is supplements, and I will actually cover those in the supplementation module. There are foods that are known to help detoxify the body, like cruciferous vegetables, especially broccoli sprouts, and some of these foods are easier to take in supplement form. One of those is chlorella. Chlorella is a blue-green algae that's known to bind to heavy metals and pull them out of the body. I took a ton of chlorella in 2004, and I still take it periodically. Just make sure it's not from Japan, as it could be contaminated by radiation from Fukushima. Cilantro is also a chelator. Other herbs that can bind to heavy metals and toxins are milk thistle, red clover, and burdock root. You'll see these come up again in the supplement module. But it's important that we get our priorities straight. The diet and lifestyle habits in this module are the foundation. If you stop toxifying, radically change your diet, start exercising, practice deep breathing, and incorporate some fasting, it will speed up the process. All of these healthy habits work together and greatly improve your body's ability to detoxify. If you're willing to do those things, then additional supplementation could be very beneficial. But if you just want to take a detox supplement and not change your diet and lifestyle, you're wasting your money and the benefit will be negligible. Now let's talk about coffee enemas. Coffee enemas are a liver detoxification method. I know they sound weird and crazy, but let me just give you a brief explanation of what coffee enemas do. So when you insert coffee into your body rectally, it goes straight to your liver and it stimulates your liver to secrete more bile. Many alternative and integrated practitioners all over the world have their patients do coffee enemas. There's a few reasons why. One, it makes the patients feel good. They often have noticeable improvement in pain reduction and relief from cancer-related symptoms. And two, it stimulates liver detoxification. Coffee enemas were actually listed in the Merck manual until the 1970s. They got bumped out because most mainstream practitioners weren't using them. There's a lot of information about coffee enemas online, so I encourage you to read up on them. You might come across an article that says they're dangerous. They are not dangerous. You can get a coffee enema kit with everything you need and instructions on Amazon. One more detox method I want to mention here is ozone therapy. Ozone is a powerful detoxifier of the body, and many integrative practitioners use ozone therapies like ozone saunas, rectal and vaginal insufflation, IV ozone, and also have their patients drink ozonated water, which is something you can do at home. So once you've purified your water, let's say with a Berkey filter, you can also ozonate it with a device that bubbles ozone into your water. Ozone raises your blood oxygen, which increases detoxification and helps alleviate the detox symptoms that a lot of people experience. The device that I use is called a soda water ozonator. You can get one of those at soda.com. To find an ozone practitioner near you, go to aaot.us. Okay, so let's recap. Your body is always detoxifying. And the best way to improve this process is first, stop toxifying. Then switch to an organic plant-based diet and eat cruciferous vegetables every day, especially broccoli sprouts. Filter your water, get 30 minutes of sweaty exercise, and breathe deeply every day. Start with a 1 to 3 day water fast followed by a 3 to 7 day juice fast. During this process, switch to verified non-toxic body care products and home cleaning products. Examine your home and work environment for potential pollutants like chemical fumes and electropollution. Get rid of toxic candles and air fresheners. Test for toxic mold and radon. Turn off your Wi-Fi at night and keep your cell phone at a safe distance. And of course, break your bad habits like tobacco, alcohol, and drug use. Once you've made those changes and your new routine is established, if you want to take it a step further, you could consider coffee enemas, ozonated water, and the detox supplements I'll be covering in Module 9. That concludes Module 5. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.
I was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer on October 25th, 2017. My story began in early October when I had severe stomach pains for about 3 weeks before going to see a doctor. Once I saw the doctor, he sent me directly to have a CT, and from the CT they sent me to the emergency room to have an exploratory surgery. The surgeon ended up removing 1/3 of my colon and 8 lymph nodes. My colon had overlapped on itself due to a 5-centimeter mass, which turned out to be cancerous. After surgery, they sent me to see an oncologist. I already knew the negative effects of chemo, so for me it wasn't something that I wanted to do. But I went with the hopes that I'd find somebody that was open to alternative methods. He was not. He used all of his fear tactics to try to get me to do it, which I declined and then left his office. A good friend of mine sent me the link to Crispy Cancer. I watched the first module, I ordered the books and the DVDs, and I immediately started on the Square One diet and protocol. I drank 50 to 60 ounces of carrot juice and vegetable juice a day. I eliminated all processed foods, sugar, dairy, and meat. Chris's modules helped me define my attitude about my cancer, which was pretty much, 1, okay, I have it. What am I going to do about it? I knew why I had it, and so I knew there were things I needed to change. The second was, what can I learn from this experience? Not just physically and nutritionally, but also spiritually. And then last, how can I use my experience to help others through their own journey? In March, when I went back for my follow-up, the MRI came back showing no signs of cancer. I know the Square One protocol helped give me these amazing results. For me, cancer was a blessing in many ways. It was really like a kick in the pants, a wake-up call. It was telling me I wasn't doing life the way I should be, and there was things I needed to change. Square One gave me the strength and encouragement to make those changes. I wish everyone could know how powerful the feeling it is to have control over your own health, The important first step is don't listen to the fear that well-meaning doctors, families, friends use to influence you. Pray, find your answer, then charge toward your healing with all the faith you can muster. The Square One modules are written in such an easy format to follow, step by step, to guide us to health. I would recommend it to anyone I know. I've read my book so much, it's actually falling apart. This program brings people together through hope, not fear. It turns strangers into online friends. It unites us through this phase of our life journey, even after our healing. I feel so blessed to have found Chris and this amazing group of people he's brought together. Thank you, Chris, for your amazing faith and spirit and your heart to help so many others heal. You really give hope for a healthier life and a positive attitude. Thank you.
Hey, it's Chris again. Thank you so much for watching Square One.